Hi, I'm Vince Jolivet, and welcome to 5 on 10. 5 looks at each of Europe's 10 most exciting and fascinating places. When you think about Transylvania, if you think about it at all, chances are you're going to think about Count Dracula. A lot of people don't even know it's a real place, but it is real, and so is Dracula. Except that he wasn't a count. No such title has ever existed among the noble classes of Romania, which is where Transylvania is located. Was Dracula a vampire? Who knows? But what's beyond dispute is that the 14th century Wallachian king Vlad Tepes, the model for Bram Stoker's notorious Bloodsucker, is a national hero of Romania.
He was mostly like a hero, like an icon of fight for freedom and independence in our culture.
In 1361, Vlad was born in the Carpathian Mountain district of Transylvania. The name of the region was given by the Romans, who called it Trans-Silva, or across the forest, which is what this remote land was in the days of the Roman Empire. Several centuries after the Romans, another foreign empire was threatening to swallow up Vlad's homeland. This time it was the Turks, whose Ottoman Empire would eventually cover as much of the world as Rome's did. It was in the fortress city of Sighisoara, which today is the oldest continuously occupied walled fortress city in Europe, that young Vlad first came into the world. The family took its name, Dracula, from a brotherhood of kings and nobles united to fight off the Turks. Little Vlad would grow up to be the brotherhood's most notoriously ruthless member.
Dragon in the old Romanian language at the time it meant also Dracul. But Drac it means also devil.
The insignia for the Order of the Dragon still hangs from the house where Vlad was born. Only today, the house has been converted into a restaurant. You'll see that dragon looking back at you from every one of the plates. Inside, portraits of the heroic king are everywhere. But it's in the bar where you'll see the form of punishment that made him famous, or rather infamous. He liked to impale his enemies. On one occasion, as many as 20,000 at once, although he may not have actually dined among the dead, as some have claimed. Even today, Vlad's grisly punishment has its defenders.
Of course, he was using those cruel punishment methods like impaling people, but he was not impaling the decent people. He was impaling the enemies, which were the Turks, the invaders, and he was impaling the thieves, the robbers, the rapers, and so on.
As king, he held his official residence at Bran, in a fortress castle that guarded a critical mountain pass to neighboring Wallachia. Inside, the castle's not quite the Gothic horror you might expect. Outside the castle, where once there were row upon row of impaled corpses, you will now find commerce in an outdoor marketplace where the main commodity seems to be Dracula kitsch. Who knows what the purists might think of all this, but it's clear that the locals know which version of the Dracula legend the tourists are coming to see. The Dracula story ends near the Romanian capital of Bucharest, at a remote monastery on an island in the middle of a lake. There's no way to get there, unless you get one of the local gypsies to row you out on his boat. There you'll find Snagoff Monastery, built in 1364 on the ruins of an earlier church built by Vlad's grandfather. Inside, among the frescoes, you'll find the grave of Wallachia's famous Turk-fighting king. There are no end to the stories about what happened to Vlad's body after his death, but the island's single monk insists that the body of King Vlad Tepes Dracul lies beneath this reverential portrait. As for the frescoes on the walls, they're magnificent. A group of art students from the National University is working long hours to painstakingly restore them. Nobody wants to stay here too late.
I would not dare to spend my night here all by myself, alone in the monastery.
Don't worry though, we all came out alive. I'm Vince Jolivet, and I'll see you on the road.